one second.
Alright, so my presentation is on supply and demand, economics of the housing market. So the basics, this was what was in the two very short readings. Got the supply, which is the amount of goods a producer is willing to make at a certain price. The supply is affected by the price of raw materials, related products, and competition. Technological advances, which would be methods of creating the supply, and government regulations. And the most important factor in supply that most people neglect is time. It takes time to create supply, and if you don't create supply fast enough, your demand might have more an excess demand. Then there's demand, which is the amount of goods a buyer, that someone is willing to buy at a certain price. And price is not the only factor in determining the demand. For example, an income of your prospective consumer might be a factor. Price changes in competitive goods, and also consumer preferences. And then there's the more important thing, which is the market price, which is where the supply and demand are equal, or they're at equilibrium. And that would be here, where the supply and demand curves intersect. They have the same price. And when the price of something is at market price, the market will flow the most efficiently. There will be the most supply and the most demand, and the most money will be exchanged. And if the price is too high, set too high for an item, there will be excess supply. And if the price is too low, there will be an excess demand. Which, that doesn't really make sense with this demand, with this graph.
So the market strives to be at that equilibrium point?
Yeah. We'll talk more about that in a bit. So there's market surpluses and shortages. If there's a market surplus, there's an excess supply. And if there's an excess supply, so let's say there are 20 tubes of toothpaste and only 5 people need to buy them, there's an excess supply, so the price of toothpaste will go down to accommodate for that.
Is that because there's somebody who might doesn't want it at $5 but might want it at $1?
No, and we'll go into this. This is going more into the buyers and sellers market, where if there are, say there's 20 toothpaste sellers, each one has a different kind of toothpaste, they're gonna market to the buyer. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, my toothpaste is cheaper than this guy's toothpaste, you should buy mine because it's a better deal. And that causes pressure towards the market price. Then also, if there is a shortage of a product and there's not enough supply but the demand is very high, there will be a pressure to have more supply. So the supply curve moves to bring the price to the market price. And then, yeah, that's an example of where a market surplus would be. The price of a product would be up there on the supply curve. And then it's the opposite for a market shortage. And the buyer's market and the seller's market, we touched on this, which is a market where a surplus or shortage causes the buyer or seller to have the upper end when negotiating the price. And in a buyer's market, the consumers have a price negotiating advantage, and in the seller's market, the sellers have the advantage. And a big, great example is the real estate market. And when the housing bubble happened in, what was it, 2000s-ish, houses were in such high demand that sellers were able to get much more than the listing price on the houses that they were selling. And then in the subsequent housing crash, there was a buyer's market because there were too many houses and people didn't need as many. So the buyer had an advantage in negotiating the price, and they could get it cheaper because the sellers had to compete to sell it to a buyer. And then there's an activity. Go to that website there. There is a map on that website. Let me find it. I have it open. Drag it to the other screen. Whoa! Here it is. Sort of format is works. But it is a map. And I can't see the whole map. But I'm sure you can pull it up. It looks better on your screens. And I have some questions. Well, first I should show you how to navigate the map.
Can I just type in?
If you just look up SF, or truly a map SF, it comes up.
Yeah. This is exactly one for me. And then if you go to this tab here, like after zooming into the map, you can see the list. You can look at houses by listing price, sale price per square foot. These are estimates of this made by the site, and this is the rental price. And you can toggle between them to see different ones for different areas. And so I've got a few questions based on that. So the first question is San Francisco real estate in a buyer's or a seller's market?
Sellers.
But why? Well, the prices could be high. Listing prices could just be high.
But a
Because
lot
it's a
of
bigger
all
demand
of
for
them-
housing than the supply in San Francisco.
Okay, what makes that possible?
The market that it is. The top, you can see that rent's way higher here than anywhere else.
Yeah,
I have a question. When you're talking about whether it's a buyer or seller or certain neighborhoods, is it like do you have to take income into account, like income of the median income of people?
I'm just basing this off of the data that was given on the site, but I think that would matter in a sec.
Well, I looked at the listing price, and then I would go to sale price and click on the same area I was, and it would sell for a lot more than the listing price. Or I just could be imagining this. So I think it's a seller's, what is it,
Seller's market.
seller's market, just because the prices are going for more than they are listed for, so it's like a bidding war.
Yeah, it is kind of bidding war in San Francisco because San Francisco is such a high demand spot because there's tons of tech companies and other factors that influence San Francisco. One of them being we have tons of trees and tons of parks because we value that as San Franciscans. And that causes prices to go up in the housing. And listing prices are high already, but the sell prices are really, the difference between the sell prices and the listing prices are really where you can see whether it's a buyer's or seller's market. And when the sell prices are higher than the listing prices, which is typical for San Francisco, means we have a seller's market, where the sellers are usually getting a higher price for the houses that they're selling. The next thing to look for is based on the information in the map, what do you think the graph of supply and demand for San Francisco real estate looks like? I'm honestly not sure. I was asking.
There's,
Supply is low, demand.
So like if,
the demand is high and the supply is low, based off the website.
yeah, that's about right. And then third part is switch to the rentals map.
How do you do that?
There's a drop down.
Oh, yeah.
And based on the real estate market, do you think renting a house or buying a house is more in buyer's favor? is more of a buyer's or seller's market. Find which market has prices closest to the market price.
Yes,
Or, I don't think this one has like a correct answer. I think this one basically.
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
also,
it's-
is that what you want, maximum one, not place, I mean, if you're trying to keep up, if you, never mind.
I mean, there must be some relationship between, so it's two markets. There's a rental market and a buying market. There must be some relationship between them. But they don't have to be the perfect same. Because it's too, if buying a house is too expensive, then that's going to increase demand for rentals.
Yeah.
Because it's cheaper and kind of evens it out, right?
So it's a good example of competitive markets. I don't know, it's all in San Francisco.
How'd you find this map? Or this website?
I was doing research, I just looked up, because I wanted a real world example in my presentation. So I just found the map and I was like, oh, it's good enough, why not do an activity instead of having it all be a PowerPoint.
On here, it says rents in San Francisco shows 7% year-over-year rise in median sales price and a negative 4% drop in median rent per month. San Francisco. Can I answer the last one?
What does that make you think? Does it make you think renting is,
I guess right now, if it's cheaper to rent, it'd be more in the favor of rent, the base, than in previous years. But,
okay.
Well, the price coming down on rentals makes you think it's shifting away from being a seller's market
go buyers.
to that more of a buyer's or renter's market.
So based on that evidence, renting has to be more of a buyer's market. The price would be closer to the market price than the buying market. The next is do it for another city of your choice. I'm pretty sure Trulia has a bunch of different cities. I tried this. Go to it. Close the PowerPoint first. So go here, you can there we go. You can type in a different city. Just New York, and just test. And that should pull up New York. Dang it, it was there last time. Or it didn't.
On the map, you can just zoom out and drag over New York.
Oops.
Oh, yeah. In charge of Atlantic City, right?
There we go. Scroll down. Yeah. So you just type in that format, city and state, and you can find those and try it out on. Those are the questions. Is everyone able to find another city to do it with?
Yeah, for some reason, Trulia is having a hard time.
You can just zoom out.
Maybe it's because we're all in this.
Yeah, no, I'm just like I'm looking at Boise, Idaho,
Oh,
for some reason. I don't know. Why not? It's coming. It's just not coming very fast. You know what? It's cheap to live in Boise. Yeah, cheap. The most expensive it gets is like $400,000. Um, Okay, so I'm wondering whether people have questions for
We can do questions.
people have questions either on the topic or things that you're curious about.
is there a particular history with supply and demand in San Francisco in the past that changed in any way?
I'm not sure. I'll also look for resources, see if there's a database. That would all be interesting to see.
What did you learn? Like, I'm curious, like, you must have gotten into this with some idea. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. Like, is there something that, coming out of having done the research, that you are now like, oh, like, now I get this, or some, like, I don't know, some aha moment, or?
Well, now I can at least talk about this stuff with more economic terms. I can't just say like, the people who are selling the houses are getting a lot better prices than the listing price. Now I can say, San Francisco real estate is in a seller's market, which is cool. So I would talk to economists. And also, it's interesting to look at that and see how much San Francisco prices are way over other prices throughout the nation.
Can you go back to the supply and demand curve?
Yeah.
Can you, so ignore, starting off with ignore the supply, just the red curve. What is that showing? What's it mean to be at different points on that curve?
So at this point, the quantity of price of a product being produced is low, and the price is low. So like the wax is the price of a product, and the excess is the quantity of products produced. Let me go back to the first slide. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention two amazing real estate bullet points. And demand is a necessity, or housing is a necessity, and therefore people will buy it, no matter what the price is. The other cool fact is only 2% of real estate is newly constructed buildings.
So show me, talk about like the different points along the demand curve. So like on the upper left, what's happening there? What's that mean?
So up here, if the price of the product is really high, not very many of the product will be wanted. So it's low on
So
the
people
quantity.
will, high prices, people aren't gonna want it. Okay. And then at the other end,
The other end, if it's a low price, then tons of people want it, because it's easy to get.
okay. So now the supply curve.
Supply curve, people are willing, or people on the supply know they can get this price for it, they will produce this many. So you produce it for a low, you can produce it and get a low price on it, not very many of that thing are going to be made. Whereas if you can get tons of stuff at a really high price, sell tons of stuff at a really high price, then of course it'll produce more, and you'll sell it.
But up there by the Y, yes, in theory, if you had a really high price, you would want to sell a lot of it, but because demand goes down, the price people are, you would be willing to sell lots of it for that price, but people aren't going to want to pay it. At the other end, what's the gap between them on the left side? If the price is really high,
Not very many people are going to want it, and that's why the quantity is really low.
but the producers, so what the red again up there is,
The red again up there is the price that the product is being sold for is really high, so not very many people want it.
so what does the gap represent?
What do you mean?
Like, so that you have a quantity,
Mhm.
who is willing to, you only have a few, so people are willing to pay a lot, but why is the blue low at that end?
At that end, because the price is lower, because
The price is high, but the price is high.
the price is y-axis. Price is the vertical axis. So if not very much of a quantity is being produced, the price will be higher and the supply will be lower. If a lot of the product is being produced, the demand will be low for it because there's tons of them out there and there'll be an excess supply.
So on the left-hand side, a lot of people aren't getting it, right? You're only selling,
Yeah. Not very many people are getting it on the left side.
and so things naturally want to go to the point where,
Yeah. If there's an excess supply, the quantity demanded is really low, so the price has to go down for the demand to get larger.
making sense? Okay.
Cool. Thank you. Okay. Let's do next person up, and then we can debrief. We can debrief after we close the conference.